I already met.
Well, we'll smile.
This guy's a party. This guy's a party animal. No,
You know, I'm just here, there, and everywhere.
That's Michael Waldron above me.
Some people have mentioned that this is like the Friday Night Lights of wrestling. Where earlier some of the guys are talking about the more famous wrestlers we know, and this takes it way back to the beginning. For guys who have to do their come up. Where did the story come about where you can take it, from a small town as opposed to doing the big wrestlers and their life stories? I'll say Mike, not Michael.
Well, I think that what we wanted to do is, it's interesting because I think as people their awareness of, and please follow up if I don't answer this question correctly, but, one of the things that as people are like, oh, this is going to be a show about wrestling. I hope and then, it takes place in the past as it takes place. I hope they really, treat wrestling right. Well, obviously, we're not going to do a giant show, television show about wrestling where it is now, simply because we just couldn't stage these arena shows as a set week in, week out. And we do think that the authentic wrestling is, meaning authentically done, is a big a selling point of this show. Actors who can do it, stuntmen who can do it, athletes who can do it. And there are small promotions all around the country, just like there are minor league baseball leagues. And, I went home to Nashua, New Hampshire, and my father and I and my son and my daughter, we went down to see a wood bat league of, freshmen and sophomores in college. And the stadium was filled with, it was about 1,100 people. And Friday night, we're watching a baseball game. And so I think there are these independent wrestling promotions all around the country. And we wanted to show how hard the people at a small level. Look, the main story of this show is Ace Spade. Can he make it big? And that he has the talent to do so. And so we're projecting towards, okay, 5 years from now, is he in a giant promotion like WWE or AEW? He still has to live his life right now. And there are those people, as Jack Spade says in the show, he's like, I have to stick around and figure out the narrative for the people who are going to be here. Because the people in Duffy want to go see live wrestling on a Saturday night. They don't want to drive to Atlanta. They don't want to drive to Miami. They want to see this. They want to see live, wrestling taking place right here. And he believes that the product, can expand enough that he can make a decent living at it. He's not yet, but he believes that.
Michael, by calling it heels, you're basically destroying what we grew up knowing as we thought it was fake, but you're telling us it's really fake. It's like, one, what did you know wrestling was fake at some point, and why call it heels and not something else?
When the NWO was, I don't know how much of a wrestling fan you are, but when the NWO was taking over the WCW and Hulk Hogan had turned bad and all these terrible things were happening, I was still a little kid, and my favorite wrestler was Sting. In the NWO, they sent out a fake Sting, a guy who looked like the wrestler Sting, who attacked Sting's best friend with a lead pipe, busted up his knee, and I wept. I cried because my hero had turned evil. And at some point around then, my parents were like, you need to know this is not real. And I think they really emphasized that to me. But I think my answer to them was, I know, but I still care. In the same way that I know Star Wars isn't real, but I still am upset when Han gets frozen in carbonite. And there's so much. It's interesting why people are so obsessed with the idea of is wrestling real or not real.
Right.
It's like it's a movie where everybody does their own stunts the entire time. It's
right.
It's really real. It's
you
weird
know,
anything else you watch. And so then your other question, why call it heels? I think that, heels in wrestling, heels are the bad guys. And all of our characters are struggling with, who am I really? Am I the good guy? That's who I want to be, or am I the heel?
either way, we could spend hours talking about wrestling because it's a sport, and you can go on. Who's your favorite wrestler? Where have you been? Yada yada. We'll talk about this season 2 because we know it's gonna happen. You guys got a good show. It's good talking to you now. We'll talk later.
Hey, Wilson, thanks, man. It's nice to see you again. I know we have such a brief amount of time. Please make sure we're in touch. And if you have follow-up questions, I also think that they're going to drop the next 3 episodes for you to watch. But, we appreciate you, jumping on here, and it's all jammed in together. But reach out to both of us on social media. And if you need to talk to us again, we're available. We love to talk about heels.
All right, we'll do. Take care,
Man.
folks.
Appreciate it.